Welcome back to AI with Win. Today, we're diving into WebSim, the ultimate game changer in web technology. Imagine an AI so powerful it can simulate entire online ecosystems, predict trends, and transform your digital experience. In this deep dive, we'll explore how WebSim works, its incredible potential, and what it means for the future of the web. Ready to witness the future unfold? Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started on this exciting journey into the world of WebSim. Introducing WebSim, an innovative AI platform that's completely free to try out. Signing up is simple, just use your Google or Discord account. Once you're in, you'll land on the main page where you can explore creations from other users. In a moment, I'll showcase some cool examples. If you're feeling creative, you can use the URL bar at the top to create your own website. Just type in a prompt like make XYZ or an imaginary URL like twitterfordogs.com, and WebSim will generate the website or app for you instantly. Although the website or URL doesn't actually exist on the internet, you're building it within this virtual environment, a simulated internet. Essentially, WebSim is crafting its own alternative internet. How amazing is that? All right, let's dive in. Today, I'm going to show you just how simple it is to use WebSim. All you need to do is type in your prompt or URL here, or you can upload a reference image. Next, choose the AI model. I always recommend using the newest and most intelligent model, which is Sonnet 3.5 right now. This tool can create a variety of things, so let's start with something simple. I'm going to create an online store to sell my shoes. I'll name it coolshoes.store and hit enter to see what it generates. WebSim has been around for a while, but it wasn't that impressive until the launch of Sonnet 3.5 last week. This new version is incredible. It can create entire games, websites, or apps with just one prompt. If you haven't seen my video on Sonnet 3.5 yet, check it out to see all the amazing things it can do. With this tool linked to Sonnet 3.5, you can unlock a ton of creative possibilities, which I'll demonstrate in this video. Alright, you can see now it's creating my online shoe store. It even uses an AI image generator to create photos of shoes for me. How cool is that? Remember, this is a completely fictional website that only exists in WebSim, not on the actual internet. You can save this web page by clicking the icon in the top right corner and then selecting Download Website. This will download an HTML file to your computer, and when you open it with Chrome, you'll see it's a standalone website, excluding the images. There you go, a landing page created in just a few seconds. Back in WebSim, you'll notice that the words link to other pages. For example, if you hover over About Us, you'll see the URL is Cool Shoes Store About. This page hasn't been created yet, but you can click on it and WebSim will generate it on the fly. I didn't need to prompt it further. It just knows to automatically create the About page, keeping the same styling as the home page. Here we go. Here's the About Us page. Now, let's click on Catalog and see what we get. Again, it's generating this page on the fly. Very cool. Now, these are not all shoes, so you might need to edit the products and descriptions, but it's already quite impressive. You can sort by different options and select your category. If there's a page that doesn't exist yet, you can create it by editing the URL. For example, to create a refund policy page, you can type coolshoes-store/refund policy, and WebSim will generate it on the fly. Notice it keeps the menu and header consistent, as well as the orange color of the headers. You can also create subpages. For example, you could create a casual subpage under the catalog by typing Cool Shoes Store Catalog Casual. WebSim will generate this page based on the URL. You might notice some alignment problems, but you can prompt it further to fix these issues or add new features. For instance, if I want a shopping cart icon in the top right, I can prompt it to add one, and there it is. Very cool. There's even more you can do to customize the URL. For websites, you can add parameters at the end of the URL. To add parameters, start with a question mark, then add the name of the parameter and its value. If you want to add another parameter, you can follow the same format. Let me show you an example. Right now, the prices are in USD. Let's change the currency to Japanese yen. We can add a parameter at the end of the URL called currency and set it to JPY. Let's see what happens. Very cool. Not only did it change the currency to Japanese yen, but it also switched the language to Japanese. How impressive is that? Now, let's add another parameter. If you already have an existing parameter and want to add another, just use the AND symbol. This time, let's set the website to dark mode by writing dark_mode =on. Let's see what that generates. It should create a website with darker colors. How cool is that? There's also a button at the top to switch between dark and light modes. Very impressive. Yeah, if you don't like the current look and want to revert back to a previous page, just click on the URL bar and scroll through the prompts you've entered. For instance, if I want to go back to a specific generation, I'll click on it and it takes me back. Note that clicking on the home page or About Us links generates a new page on the fly, not the previous version. Now, let's try something trickier. Instead of coolshoes.store, I'm going to write animals.encyclopedia and see what it gives us. Very cool. You can search for any animal and see different categories. Let's click on mammals. It's showing us some examples of mammals, and it's generating these images using AI on the fly. Some images, like the blue whale and platypus, might not look real, so you'll need to plug in some images yourself. Clicking Learn More for the lion generates a Wikipedia-like page. It's like creating an alternative Wikipedia within this simulation. You can even listen to a lion's roar, although it doesn't actually have audio yet. Next, I'll add more parameters, like language =, Spanish and dark_mode =, true. Let's see what we get. Very nice. The language is set to Spanish, and the website is now in dark mode. Let's push its limits. I'll go back home and start a new website. What if I type reddit.com? Oh my god, this AI creates its own version of Reddit. This AI can generate its own simulated version of existing websites. Imagine having a personalized version of Reddit or Facebook. This is heading into sci-fi territory, but it could mean personalized internets for everyone. You don't have to type a URL, you can type a regular prompt. For example, I'm going to write make a Twitter, but all the users are dogs. Holy smokes, it even renamed Twitter to Pupster. This is a preliminary version of Twitter with dog users. I'm going to test this further by taking a screenshot of the left sidebar of the actual Twitter, pasting it here, and asking it to add this sidebar and a right sidebar like Twitter. This is insane. It even pulled some icons from Twitter and added popular tags like Squirrel Watch, Barking News, and Treats for All. Finally, I'll create a Tinder-like site but with cats. The site is called Meow Match. This is a Tinder interface created in seconds. You can like or dislike cats like Nala or Whiskers. This AI could allow people to create their own virtual internets with personalized fake websites and content. But creating websites is just the beginning. Let's go back home and type piano.synth. Whoa, it generates a piano synth with just one prompt. You can play keys, record, play, stop, and switch sound waves. Let's try sawtooth. Holy smokes, it really is a sawtooth sound. That's already very impressive. Let's enhance our project by adding even more features. I'm going to write settings for reverb, delay, attack, and release. Let's see if we can get these settings working. First, here's our default sound. When I increase the release, the sound should last longer. Let's give it a try. Great, that works. So, attack and release are functioning, but reverb and delay aren't. You can always prompt further by saying, reverb or delay doesn't work, please fix it. Now, let me show you something cooler. I'm going to add this piano to another page. For simplicity, I'll remove these settings and revert to the original piano synth. Perfect, it still works. At the top, I'll click the bookmark icon to save this page. I'll name it Piano and press Publish. Now this page is published under WebSim. Your username. My username is Bob, so it's published as websim.bobpiano. You can name it whatever you like. For instance, if I open a new window and paste this link into the URL bar, it takes us to this piano synth. Anyone can use it without logging into WebSim. If you find another plugin, all you need to do is add it to your browser's real URL bar, not the fake one. For example, a user named C5R has created some impressive plugins. One popular plugin is the IDE plugin, which lets you view and edit the source code of a web page. To add this plugin, simply append plugin =C5R/IDE to your URL. You'll see an IDE button on the page, which, when clicked, opens a developer console view to inspect elements, networks, and more. This way, you don't need to download the HTML file every time you want to see the code. You can view it directly on your page. Let's try something more complex. In the URL, type audio.visualizer and hit enter. You'll notice it generates an audio visualizer without needing specific details. For example, you can upload a song and adjust settings effortlessly. Now, let's create something even more challenging. Type create an interactive Microsoft Paint app in the prompt. You can either type a simple prompt or a URL like microsoft.paint. After clicking Generate, it might take a moment, but you'll see a fully functional Paint app where you can draw, change colors, and use various tools like lines, rectangles, and circles. For another example, let's create a Microsoft Excel app. Type Create a Microsoft Excel app and click Generate. You'll get a spreadsheet interface where you can input data and use basic formulas. If something doesn't work, like formula calculations, you can inspect errors by pressing Ctrl+Shift+1 in Chrome to open the console view and fix the issues accordingly. To add more functionality, let's incorporate these apps into a Windows XP desktop simulation. Start by typing Make a blank desktop with a start menu in the lower left corner with regular Windows XP options and a plain gray background and click Generate. You'll get a simulated desktop. Now, you can add the previously created apps, Piano, Paint, Excel, by appending their URLs. For instance, append the URL for the Paint app by typing Add Paint as an app on the desktop and linking to your Paint app URL. Repeat for Excel and any other apps. Finally, change the desktop background to the original Windows XP wallpaper by copying the image address and adding it to your prompt. Now, you've created a Windows XP desktop simulation with functional apps. You can keep exploring and adding more features to make it even more interactive and complex. Enjoy experimenting and share your coolest projects. Thanks for diving into the world of WebSim with me today. Did you know that WebSim can predict user preferences with over 90% accuracy? Imagine how this could revolutionize your online experience. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more AI insights. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to adjust or add. I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you think AI like WebSim will change the way we interact with the internet in the next decade? Drop your ideas in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring the future of AI with Win.